we got here? 1, 2, 3, and Tom's on the phone.
I thought Joe was on the phone.
No, a bunch of them on the phone. I heard Tom Devaney talking. He's here. Okay. We have 1 minute. Okay, welcome everybody to the town board meeting of June 16th. If you're not speaking, you may want to mute
conference will now be recorded.
You may want to mute yourself so that we don't hear any background noise. We want to start. Well, we're going to have the town clerk please take the roll.
Councilman Dennis Troy,
Present.
Councilman Jerry Batari,
Here.
Councilman Paul Valentine,
Here.
Councilman Tom Devaney, Councilman Tom Devaney,
He's muted, hold on. You get him off there, Teresa?
Here.
Got it.
Okay.
Supervisor Teresa Canny.
Here.
Present.
Okay, so we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, I'm Esther Baylor. I'm unique, and I'm doing the pledge.
Okay,
Since this is the week of my birthday,
okay. Pledge Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we have to mention that it is Esther Baylor's birthday on June 21st. So we want to all wish Esther a wonderful birthday. And I was told
Happy birthday, Esther.
Happy
Birthday, Esther.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, Jess. I'm glad you're in a good mood.
Happy birthday, Esther.
The good news for Esther is that she'll be able to go back to work at Five Guys up in Nanuet, where she's worked for a
And
living.
to run venture.
Okay, Esther, very good. We'll let you know when you can speak in the public portion again. So we have a couple.
I will speak.
We have a couple of announcements.
And public portion.
Okay, so we have just an update on our Kickstart Orangetown. So we had a very successful kickoff parade this weekend. We started in Nyack. We drove through all the villages, and we ended up after Blauvelt up in Pearl River. So it was a great day, and we got the kickoff going. We just had a meeting today, and we are working on our next event, which is scheduled tentatively for June 27th. It's going to be closing Central Avenue down and allowing the shops and the restaurants, everybody to move everything out into the street. So that's a little bit in the works, but we're looking at like an 11 to 9 p.m. on that day. That's a busy day, actually, because we are also going to be having a drive-by art presentation at Veterans Park from 12 to 3. And we also have that night Orangetown Family Flicks Night. The Parks Department organized at the Pfizer IRG parking lot to have Frozen there. So you can drive in, you have to get tickets ahead of time. It's on a first come, first serve. But essentially there'll be food trucks and you can sit in and watch the movie Frozen. Just back on the Kickstart, I just wanted to mention, we are still looking for some ideas for working on in Tapan and Spark Hill and the businesses down there. So if anybody has any suggestions, we know there's the big lawn down there, but it's a little bit trickier for the restaurants and stuff to get there. So we're offering it, basic for anyone with suggestions. we have a website and, you can go in, we're looking for businesses to give us their thoughts and ideas on what we can do to help get their businesses up and running. So,
What about the German Masonic Park?
it's there. They've actually reached out to us at one point and, offered us the use of it if we need it for something.
Well,
So, yeah, maybe we could do
that might
something.
be it.
So yeah, so we're, again, we're open to suggestions. The committee's meeting. They're looking maybe to do a farmer's market or something a little later, but we're trying to do things to kind of draw people to the business districts. And then just as far as farmers markets, we do the Palisades Farmers Market is open, and they're offering 2 curbside pre-order delivery opportunities for fresh vegetables and select vendors. And they have a website at palisadesfm.org for more information. So that's it on the announcements.
Teresa, I just had a question on the 27th. Now, if you own a restaurant or bar in town, are you going to be assigned an area? Like, how are you going to do that? Because I'm sure everyone's going to want as much space
Yeah.
as possible.
This is again, we just came to this idea today. So we were kind of between, there's been a lot of, I'm sure you guys may have heard, we were getting calls all day from members of the chamber. They wanted to close down the road for the next 3 Saturdays. We were kind of working on the committee on doing like a big event later in the summer, once we got past like phase 4 with the governor's orders. But we were getting a lot of, that they want to do something right away. So we're trying to, this is going to be a little bit more toned down. It's going to be just the businesses that are there, the restaurants, the shops, they can come out. Right now, I think we'll have to work through the details, but we're thinking you'd be right in front of your own store, again, either, on the sidewalk or or out on the street. So this one's not going to be as big an event. That's why we're moving it kind of closer. Not, we're not going to have other vendors there. It's really just going to be the businesses, the restaurants, and, and try and just get something going with this street closed down. I did speak with Skip Vizzetti up at the county. They can't close down Central Avenue for 3 Saturdays in a row. It's a major road. There's buses. It involves highway and police. So we did get this date, and I'm only saying this because we did ask for comments, and I got a bunch of comments from people, which I know we sent to you, which basically support closing it down, and we do too. Just it's not so simple as it's a county road. People say, well, Nyack did it, which, by the way, we just heard Nyack maybe not continuing it because they had issues with drinking and later into the night. But that's not a county road. It's their own road. So anyway, we have the 27th. That will be the start. We'll see how it goes, and we're looking to add to that. But we did, just speak with the county highway today, and they said that we're good for the 27th. So
And
details
just
to follow.
Just one follow-up question. Oh, the business owners, just so everyone, are they going to have to deal with the SLA again? Like, they're going to have to get permits for that day like we do on
Yeah.
Corridor Day?
They'll have to deal with anything with the SLA. Yep. Now,
All
I
right.
think they did pass some new regs to make it easier, but yeah, they'll have to deal with that.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just have to get that out there. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, literally this happened this morning. So we're good at getting it together, but we need a little bit more time. Okay, so
Teresa.
that's
Teresa, one question. So we're gonna have to provide, Jimmy, is he gonna have to provide trucks to blocking off the streets so no one could drive through the business district? Or how are we blocking off the roads?
yes. I mean, we spoke with Skip Pizzetti. They're not providing, put it that way. So they're going to work with the police department, but yes, and that's why at the end of the day, there's going to be a cost factor to this. We don't know how much, but there'll be a cost factor.
That's a good question, Paul, because then we might maybe vote on barricades and toilets tonight because we're going to have.
Yeah, we
to have
talked
them.
about that. I mean, Rob and I talked about it earlier, but I guess the question was,
Oh, people may not even use them.
it's for, I don't know, usually you're doing it for the Chamber of Commerce or somebody, you're lending assistance. I don't know. This is kind of us. I don't know. We can certainly vote on it if you think it's needed.
Well, I'm thinking about, will people actually use them? Because, like, I think I don't know. I don't know if people are going to use they're going to probably go into the restaurants that they're frequenting instead of going into a
I mean, it's
potty.
really meant to be limited to the businesses
Yep.
that are there, not bringing others in, at least for the first one. The later event may be different. but,
Yeah, so I think it would just be, barricades and possibly
Barricade.
assist highway department and police department as needed.
And trash cans. I think we're gonna need those.
yeah, do we have another meeting? Not until, oh, no, the committee, okay,
No,
no,
I
but
don't-
not a December meeting, okay. Yeah, the committee's actually meeting again on Thursday morning, because again, we just did this morning, but, yeah, but we've been in contact with the police department, with the highway department, with the county, basically all the experts, and we do have the Chamber of Commerce involved, so they have some experience with Pearl River Day, so, you know, they're helping out too. So hopefully it'll be a good day, but, okay. We can go into the workshop. Okay. So we have appointing Martin Fogarty to the Blue Hill Golf Advisory Committee, which I swore we did already, but I was told I was wrong. So, okay, I guess that was somehow overlooked. Number 4, you know, this is the thing that I actually was personally working on in the town attorney's office for many years. It's required by the New York State retirement system. If you're not participating in if you're not in a contract or covered number of hours, it basically is a way of calculating how much time gets reported into the retirement system. This is Dennis Troy's favorite exercise, but he's retired this year, so it doesn't matter. So basically, we ought to keep calendars, and this is a very complicated way of telling the state how much credit we get in the retirement system.
I'd still like to see the other towns and the legislature do the same thing.
I know, and how about the state? I'd like to see what they're getting, but whatever.
That is just, I think they do now. It's it's kind of a standard thing that every once in a while the state retirement system, asks for kind of an update, because the finance does report to the state, and every once in a while they'll ask for a resolution. So sometimes we go back, sometimes forward. So
Yeah, but how much do they
It's
audit it? But
It's
whatever.
not so much the reporting, it's the documentation to back up the reporting.
Anyway.
So
Well,
it's the
Dennis
system.
Michaels worked on it, so we got a lot of nice footnotes this time. I did it for 20 years. I never had a footnote, but anyway. Anyway, so that's that. The next one is the, I know I emailed you guys on the revocable license with Grape Divine and Spark Hill. So he's looking to do outdoor tables, picnic tables. It's a small sliver of land that's between the parking lot and his building. And so kind of underneath the temporary dining law that we passed, he wanted to put them out there, but we are the owner, so we have to give him permission because he needs to have that to basically go to the liquor license and people like that. So I think we dropped the number. Let's say 100. No, we shouldn't. Anyway, it has the indemnification. The only thing is there a fee to it? I mean, I think Rob and I talked about a nominal fee of $100 or something, but
Right, and the one aspect of that we included, because it is town property, and I believe he's agreed to it, is that when the restaurant is not open, people can sit at the tables. They're picnic tables, so the public can sit at them.
and he does maintain it, so it's, I mean,
Right.
it's because it's kind of
He
neglected.
cuts the lawn, et cetera, right now. But we were talking
Teresa,
about
this
doing
is-
some of $100 a month for the license, just so there's some consideration.
This is just for the extent of
I
COVID-19.
was gonna say 100 a month, Dan. I was gonna say like
That's what I said. I'm sorry, I meant to say 100 a month. What did I say?
no, you said 100 a month. I wasn't thinking we were gonna do 100 a month.
How long is this good for? Is it just good for the duration of the COVID
Well,
until the
it's
restaurant's open?
Actually, we can revoke it at any time for no reason or any reason, but I mean, I think the understanding is he does actually want to do something with it on a long term, but that's a whole nother story because it's parkland and we have to do alienation and we talked to Eric. So this is just for now, just until again.
So for just for now, I'd be fine with no fee.
I think you got to charge a fee. Gift of public funds. I think you don't charge.
Yeah, I think we should do something.
And there's a
I
hold
would make it a
harmless
flat fee.
agreement.
I wouldn't make it a month though.
Yes.
I would just make it a flat fee or whatever.
There's a hold harmless agreement from him.
Absolutely, that would be part of the agreement, yeah. You'd have to
Okay.
sign that, and again, whatever the fee is, you guys decide, but I agree with Tom. I think we need something for.
So why don't we just make it
Uh,
200?
You know,
Right.
we didn't charge the other restaurants, but we are letting them use our property, which is above giving a building permit. So I think it should be minimal at best because everybody's struggling to get by. And if it's only temporary for the COVID thing, it's a month. You know, I wouldn't get crazy on charging too big of a fee.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were gonna do either like, just do a flat fee of whatever, 150, 200.
Flat fee of $100 is fine.
Okay,
For how long?
I think you go a flat fee of $250 through the end of the year, then you can revisit it next year.
So it's not just the extent of COVID then.
Well,
That's the difference.
No, it's only,
So
it's only
COVID
from,
in July.
the license is only from now until December 31st. It's as Paul
Yeah.
says, it's part of the temporary outdoor dining.
but remember, we can also revoke it at any time, so,
True.
3 weeks from now, if someone's yelling and screaming, we revoke it, so that maybe,
And this is for him to serve food there?
picnic tables.
And he wants a truck. A taco truck or something?
Getting
On the
bigger.
lawn,
Okay.
on the lawn or in the parking lot?
I thought it was on the lawn. I don't know. He never sent me a plan, so. Jane, do you know what his game plan is?
When I was out there, he did mention the taco truck would pull up on the paved area next to the grass area. And the picnic tables would be on the grass area between the parking lot and his building.
I don't think there's enough room on the grass area, I drove by it to have a truck.
No, the truck would be actually on the parking area. It would be on the pavement. And the tables would be on the grass area. Like if you're looking at his building to the left of the building.
Right.
Then I'd be fine with 250, I'm saying.
Okay. 250 flat,
The December 31st.
Okay.
Okay, the next one we need to talk about too, the town board meetings. We were back and forth and, Rob, I'll let you, I think you put in here that we're allowed 50% capacity, so we have to find out what the capacity in the room is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit unusual because, the rules are often changing, but I'm assuming by July 7th, I shouldn't say I'm assuming by July 7th we'll be in phase 3, which I understand now that's gatherings up to 25 people, but that really doesn't apply to municipalities in any event. But I know the board expressed an interest in meeting in person. This probably would affect the land use boards as well. If this board goes to it, I would imagine the land use boards may want to start going back to in-person meetings, but it just makes it a little difficult. Some folks might not still want to come in for meetings. So, it would be allowing in-person attendance. If you recall, we started off with no in-person attendance, no public comment. Now this would allow for in-person attendance, obviously, maintaining 6 feet distance, et cetera. So
Rob,
it's really up to the board how you want to handle it. I know some municipalities are staying in this format through or until September. It's up to you can have
Right.
in person with this component so people can call in. You can have in person and just it's on YouTube or Facebook. And if you want to speak, you can email ahead of time. So it
What do you
I
really
know you guys miss me and are just waiting to get back into town hall, but I would understand if you go virtual a little longer.
I guess my question is, what are you going to do about the microphone? You're going to have to wipe that down after everyone speaks? I mean, that's a major concern, I think.
well, if no, that's true. If the public were there, we'd have to have somebody there to
These are just things you got to think about.
take care of that. No, that's true.
I, for one, don't want another virtual meeting. I want it in person. I'm telling you, that's how I feel.
And I'm with Dennis. If we have to limit the number of people that come in, they come in and speak and then go out. and then we can let somebody else in if we got more than 25 people. But I would much prefer an in-person meeting.
Right. The only thing I would say with respect to that is we have to make sure, obviously, it's available to the public, especially if we have a public hearing. I think it's helpful. Obviously, we're on TV and we're on YouTube, and I have not spoken to IT, but I'm assuming we could still stream on Facebook, but I'm not sure. But
Yes.
I think, especially at the beginning, you may want this kind of option. But again, that's up to you. In person, but also have the option to call in or email in.
I'm fine with that too.
Yeah, no, I don't, Rob, I don't think we're gonna do, we can have people email in ahead of
It's your
time,
call.
but we're gonna. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna get
fine.
the whole Facebook, people commenting on Facebook, and it's gonna be.
Right. Right, so you can have the in-person meeting and then still, TV, YouTube, and email in ahead of time if there's something.
Right. YouTube's not live, Rob, that's.
Oh, I thought it was live stream.
No, that's Facebook. Come on, Rob, get with it.
What's Facebook? I don't know what that is.
Teresa, I like the
you
way
have to be
the,
ready to turn people.
But
I like the way the meetings have been working for our Kickstart meetings, where some of the members are on the dial in or
Yeah,
go to
right.
meeting, and some
Right.
of us are in the room. So I don't know if we could possibly. I was talking to Rob about this yesterday. I don't know if we could possibly do that. So it would limit the public members in the room. We would just have the board members and possibly one applicant at a time. And perhaps we can have some type of microphone. I'd have to, run this by IT, where it's suspended so it picks up the sound, but you're not actually talking into the microphone. So it's actually above you. I don't know if we can make that work. So no one's actually touching the microphone. It just picks up on the person talking, and then everyone can call in or dial into the go-to meeting, and it's up on the smart board. I think that's been working well for those meetings. That's another thought.
I'm here, so I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. I mean, we could do it. I mean, I actually called it. I said, Dennis Troy and Paul Valentine want to come in. So,
Yep.
If I can comment, our office received wands, UV wands. So we can use that if you talk to the IT people, can we use the IV wands over the microphone and the podium if they are going to be getting up to speak? Will that cover sanitizing the area?
How about they stand up and speak them, 6 feet from the mic? Just talk loud.
Well, we got time to figure it out.
Well, you can remove the podium also.
Yeah, as
so people
long
don't like
as
to touch
the
the
people at
podium.
home can hear it.
okay, so the consensus though is we'll be in person. Okay,
Yes.
okay. 7 o'clock. Yeah, now we had it 7 o'clock, and I don't,
It's supposed to be 7:30.
did we make it at 7 o'clock for a reason?
I thought you had asked to make it 7, I thought.
I'm fine with 7.
I mean,
I'm fine with 7.
Supervisor, 7
Yep.
is the police commission.
Right.
Fine.
But 7:30 would be our normal meeting.
okay, whatever,
Do we have a police
Okay.
commission that night too?
I don't know, it seems to be like a hit or miss with the police commission meetings, I don't know,
Well, the chief just indicated it's supposed to be at 7, so you want to leave the police commission at 7 and make this 7:30?
no, not really, but,
So make the police commission at 6:30, and then we do the regular meeting at 7.
Is that a problem for you, chief? If we
No,
know
not
it's
at all.
proper?
6:30 would be great.
That's fine.
Yep, fine with me.
All right.
Okay.
I'm with,
Go ahead, Paul, you were saying something?
I'm fine. Yeah, that's good. 6:30 and then 7.
Okay.
Just,
Okay.
I'm sorry, before you go, can we stream it live on Facebook or not? Allison?
Yeah,
Okay,
that we
then
can
that's
do.
good. Okay,
Okay. That's what I think Clarkstown's been doing that now. I saw his comprehensive plan meeting the other night, and they're in person and then they live stream it.
that's fine.
Okay, we have a sewer registration for SDM Industries. We have a traffic advisory board. This has to do with the cutting a curb. I don't know if anyone has questions. Jim can answer that if anyone has questions. The next item is actually a credit to us. That's good. Actually, a credit back of $2,128. Then we have Parks and Rec 10 and 11 are donations. So one is planter boxes by J&J Landscaping and funded by the Orangetown Golf Advisory Committee. And the next one is very nice. It's a bench, and it's being donated by the Sunday Boys, Friends of Alan Seaback. So it's going to have that engraving in it in loving memory of Alan Seaback Jr. So dedicated Blue Hill employee. It's very nice. 12 is the movie night we talked about. So just if you read through this, we did actually, thanks to Eric and Mark, they reached out to the high schools about having a drive-through graduation. There's still a bit of confusion about if they can do in person, how many. The schools are all over the place with the governor. So Tappan Zee has actually taken us up on the offer. They are going to have a drive-through graduation. It's going to be a different night. They're going to pay for it, but I guess we were renting the equipment for the movie. And, if you had a couple extra days, it made it less money. So they took us up. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Eric's on here. I know Nanuet had reached out. They were interested. Pearl River is not interested. But I want to see Tappan Zee here. So, because then after the governor came out with the 150 people at a graduation. So anyway, so basically we have, he's asking for some, I guess, for request. And again, this is going to be at the IRG Pfizer property. So first come, first serve. $15 if you want to get your tickets to see Frozen. Okay, 13 is the, we talked about, I think some time ago actually, about speaking of Pfizer, the tax certiorari case and splitting the cost for the appraisal services the school district had hired. So that's the authorization to pay 50%. Then we have the audit. And then we do have executive session. We have personnel matters. And then we have, very nice to see only an adjournment with one name on it for a change. So anyway, that's it.
Teresa, one question. The movie night was the 26th or the 27th? Was that Friday or Saturday?
I want to say it's the 27th. I think they're both Saturdays. All of our events are on
Isn't that
Saturdays.
Isn't that the
Oh.
same evening that you do Pearl River?
Wait a second, let's get this straight here because, yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's the movie's
go
the
ahead, Alex.
27th.
Okay, so
The
is
movie's on the
graduation-
27th.
Okay, yeah. Oh, and that's at 9, so that's actually works out well because the town thing is ending at 9, so it actually, so you can get it all in, fun-filled day. Okay, so anyway, we, to go into the public comment. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna, again, if you've been on before, just a reminder that you have the 3 minutes, which is our standard, that, it's a little tricky with figuring out who wants to speak. So we're gonna give you some time to say it's you. If there's a couple people trying to speak at the same time, we'll just kind of try and identify who you are. Unfortunately, I don't have your name, so I have to kind of do my best here. So can I get a motion to go into the public portion?
Move, Tom Divney.
Second, Paul Valentine.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
so do I have anybody who would like to comment? Make a public
Yes.
comment. Okay, Esther, go ahead, 3 minutes.
No, I get fine. It's my birthday.
Yep.
I just wanted to mention that the mayor of Piermont has no right to do away with their fruit market on the ground of Piermont. This guy is acting profound.
Okay.
The
Okay.
other thing, Teresa, you don't realize, Jim Dean is sitting there and you don't mention his name. He's old enough to be your father's grandfather, and you never brought up his name when I did the pledge. Jim has been a very, very big veteran supporter. And you all need to give him respect.
Okay, Esther, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad to see you in a good mood, Teresa.
Thank you,
That's what
Esther.
happens when you're in a good mood.
Okay, does anybody else want to speak? I do have some written ones that I'm going to go through, but, okay, go ahead. Someone's got their hand raised. You can, I don't know your name, I'm sorry.
That's
I
Lisa.
just mentioned Jim.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's Lisa.
So first, I wanted to thank you all very much for this opportunity to speak with you this evening. I will be addressing you not only as the Vice President of the Pro River Chamber of Commerce, but also as a business owner and community neighbor. My prompting for this comment is based on the feedback I have received from our local businesses in Pro River, to which I am advocating for them before you all. I would like to make it known that we understand the town does not dictate the law that has been bestowed upon us by New York State during the COVID-19 pandemic. We are aware that the state is less than helpful with supporting small businesses right now, nor do they provide clarity or consistency with their plans. We understand that the town's help to our local businesses is limited, but that does not mean that the town is helpless. We appreciate the support for our businesses to operate on the sidewalk, and further appreciate the temporary amendments made to facilitate the limited capacity and permit approvals. While that is all very helpful, we're still struggling. Perhaps it is not known or clear right now, but in Pearl River, we have been losing one business to a closure each week this past couple of weeks. As you are aware, the Chamber of Commerce submitted an application to close parts of Central Avenue and Main Street for June 20th, June 27th, and July 4th, to which we have coined Sidewalk Saturdays. This event series is only temporary while we navigate through COVID-19 repercussions. We strategically selected these dates as they fall on the eve of Father's Day, in between reopening phases, and on the 4th of July. We feel the event hosted on these dates would help our struggling businesses buy a little more time for operating while the phases push forward. It was expressed to us that these particular dates would generate a much-needed foot traffic for our businesses, as most of the storefronts on Central Avenue and its side streets rely on just that. The essence of our request included multiple dates, not one day, which would fail to satisfy our objective, which is an immediate, super supportive intervention and an extended opportunity for foot traffic during a prime time. I was surprised to learn this afternoon that there were concerns that the county would not approve the road closure of multiple dates.
1 minute.
Continue, please.
You have time. I just want to let you know you only have a minute left.
Okay. I took it upon myself to personally contact the individuals of the county, including our county executive Ed Day, whom expressed to me that the county would strongly support the closure of the road, even if it was for multiple dates. Having resolved this, it was further expressed that there were concerns with cost. We understand that there are costs associated with this and feel they should be considered an investment into our local businesses. If we continue to lose our businesses in town, we'll have the loss of sales tax, as well as the potential loss of property taxes if our business owners have empty storefronts. The concerns regarding the bus schedule are relatively moot, as 11T, 11AP, 49, and 49J are completely suspended, and Route 20 and 20T have limited service, and they have no service during our closure request. I'd like to focus on what has transpired the past 24 hours. At no point has our application submission were we asked if we were opposed to working with the town to co-host an event to support our businesses. The feedback we have received since our submission has been relatively debunked, and sadly, we do not believe our application was even sent into the county. It is my understanding that just this afternoon, the county was contacted by the town on behalf of the town to close the road for the town's Kickstart Orangetown sponsored event, which closely parallels what the Chamber of Commerce has submitted for your consideration. We do not feel we should be competing with the town, rather we should be working together. We feel the town has chosen to take over our proposal, denied 2 of our dates, and is using the third date we proposed for themselves under the Kickstart Orangetown program name, and has completely removed the Chamber of Commerce from the event.
Finish your sentence, but it's 3 minutes. You can
Thank
finish
you.
up.
Thank you, ma'am. I only have like 3 more. Further, we feel the town and Kickstart Orangetown is not listening to what the businesses are asking for. With the 17 comments submitted for official record for tonight's meeting, it is clear that the businesses are looking for multiple dates of closure, not a single date or a flashy event. Our businesses are just looking to survive. Thank you.
Thank you. So let me just respond briefly. There was no official application made for 3 dates. We got an email saying they wanted 3 dates. We're not working against the chamber. We're working with the chamber. Brian Campbell has been at our Kickstart meetings. There's what I think you're getting at, and which we are also working on, is not, and again, I don't know what Ed Day told you. I spoke with Skip Fazzetti, who said to me in no uncertain terms, we're not closing down Central Avenue for 3 Saturdays in a row. But what we are talking to the police department about is accomplishing maybe what you guys want without closing down Central Avenue. So we spoke with the police department about putting what they're calling Jersey barriers and closing off some of the parking spots, and then allowing the businesses to use all of the sidewalk and still give an area for pedestrians, because that's part of the issue. They have to have a certain walking area. So, we're not going to work with you guys, definitely not against you guys. And again, as we sit here, we don't know the cost involved, and it's not right for the town to just say we're going to close it down. And again, I'm just going to say about my one conversation with Skip Fazzetti. He said to me, we'll do it for a special event or 2, but we can't do it, regularly. So I think we can accomplish this, what we are all working towards. Again, and this is all happening in the last, week or so. But we're looking to work with the chamber. That's what I guess what I'm trying to say. And so 27th is close the road, and we'll work with you guys in between now and then to see what we can do to get more expanded space on the sidewalks. And I hope that helps. Anybody else want to make any comments while we're, and then I will read, we did get, as Lisa pointed out, support for it. We've gotten, I'm not going to read them all. They basically said down, and some have different versions, but basically we have Quintus Steakhouse, Gentle Giant Brewing, John Fallon, owner of JMK Technology Group, DCPA Dance Central, Jeffrey Gibbs from Volumetric Fund, Roger Russo, Michael Russo, Russo's Pizza in Town, Eileen Carson, CEO of Carson Vacations, Mary Jean Kettler, Executive Director of the Rockland Conservatory of Music, which does raise up, other questions too. Speaking of closing down roads, we may be looking at do something with Main Street, kind of alternate. We're trying to be creative and open to as much as we can do. Brian O'Sullivan, O'Sullivan's Pressure Washing, Neil O'Sullivan, CPA, Linda Shields, Crown Trophy, Ray Sheridan, Raymond Sheridan Financial, Michelle Donahue, Real Estate, Akela Williams, Selmira Gasovic of Dean's Coffee, and Sabrina Perry of Perry Agency. And all of these have been shared with the town board members, so everybody has them, and the town clerk. And again, none of this is meant to limit it to one business. We're looking at everything from hairdressers to, coffee shops to whatever, to Dance Central, whoever, to work with them. So, okay. Is there anybody else who wants to speak in the public portion?
Teresa, I'd just like to respond also that we as a town board, as you had said, all we want to do is work with the Chamber of Commerce. We support those businesses 100%. But there is a cost, and we're going to have to find out what that cost is before we can just go ahead and close the roads. How many trucks, how much the operators of those trucks, if there's additional police department, police required. And we want to work with, we want to work with the chamber as much as possible. We just need all the information. We don't have it yet. Plus, I don't know about the requirements from Cuomo. If you only permitted so many people in a gathering, is this considered a gathering if we have a sidewalk sale, street sale? We need advice from our attorneys on that. I'm not really sure what would be considered a gathering, or is it individual stores so that it doesn't count as a gathering because it's each store?
Which is originally why when we started talking about it, I was almost adamant about pushing it to phase 4, again, because it was going to be more of an event. And once you start having any kind of, events going on, whether firework, whatever, vendor trucks, whatever, I think it is. And that's more of a problem. I think by downsizing it to this, we could say each individual restaurant has their requirements. They do allow retail shopping now outside certain, whatever. So each store is going to have to comply with the social distancing and mask wearing.
Call it a protest, and you can have whatever number of people you want.
That is true, Dennis.
Okay. I want to give. Okay. Nobody else wants to speak? Can I get a motion? Okay, that was Dennis Troy made the motion. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Appoint Martin Fogarty to the Blue Hill Golf Advisory Committee. Can I get a motion? I don't know who.
So moved.
I'll make a motion on this, and I think we've done this already, but
I
I'll
think
do it
we
again.
did.
Or I'll second it.
I think we did too, Paul. I was adamant, but I'm told I'm wrong. Okay, so Paul.
It was at the last.
Paul moved it and Dennis seconded it, and all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Paul, I said the same thing. I was told I was wrong. I give up. He'll get 2 certificates from Kim, so there you go. He'll be lucky. Okay. Approve the elected and appointed officials' standard workday hours in the New York State retirement system. Can I get a motion? Jerry Batari made the motion. Can I get a second? Dennis Troy, get a second? All in favor? Aye.
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 And again, for anybody, who has, I know Paul had sent me a text. These, we can recertify for so long, and then after a certain amount of time, you have to keep a new calendar. But if you ever think you're doing more time that's represented here, you can always keep a new calendar, and it can be updated. We don't have to do it at this once a year, once every few years. Okay. Okay, number 5, to approve the revocable license with Grape Divine at $250 through December 31st, 2020. Can I get a motion? I'll make a motion. I get a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, okay, Paul Valentine second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, authorize the town board meetings for July 7th and July 21st. Police commission at 6:30, regular town board meeting at 7 in person. Let me see, Dennis Troy, can I get a
Yeah, I'll
motion?
definitely move that.
And Paul Valentine
And I'd
seconded.
be more than happy to.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Approve the 2020 certificate of sewer registration from SDM Industries. Can Let me see, who am I gonna, Rob wants me to just to pick you guys. Okay, I got a motion by Paul Valentine, second by Jerry Batari. All in favor? Aye.
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 Traffic Advisory Board approve the request from Rockland County Highway Department regarding crossing and signage and Orangetown installing the curb. Dennis Troy make a motion. Tom Divany second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Authorize and approve the change order with Jet Industries. Again, that's resulting in a credit to us. I'll make a motion. I get a second. Dennis Troy. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hey, Teresa,
sure?
I had something about the laser agreement.
What's that?
I'm sorry. There was something about approving laser agreement for time sheets and time clocks. Was that removed?
It was removed. I had questions and we.
Okay.
Yep.
No problem.
Okay, so can we combine, Rob? Can I combine 10 and 11? They're both donations. One is for the planter boxes and one is again for the Alan Seaback for the bench.
Yes.
Okay, so we're combining the two of them. Can I, a motion by Dennis Troy? Second by Paul Valentine. I saw your hand go, Paul. I got you. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Just on that quickly, the Golf Advisory Committee sells T signs, and the money from the T signs is used back in the golf course to betterment of the golf course itself, and that's where the money came from to do all this landscaping work around the restaurant.
Thank you. Tell them thank you. Looks nice. I'm gonna have to get up there. Okay, okay, so approve lend aid to the Orangetown Family Flicks on Friday and Saturday, June 26th and 27th. Can I get a motion?
Move,
Yep.
Tom Divany.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Tom Divany beat you. Paul Valentine second. All in favor?
Aye.
Authorize town to share in the cost of the appraisal services for the Pfizer tax certiorari. I'll make a motion. Seconded by Jerry Batari. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The audit?
Okay, the audit for tonight's meeting consists of one warrant for 1.3 million. The items of interest, number one, Capasso, 68,000 for recycling. Number four, Tech Corp, 33,000 for River Road sewer lining. That's bonded money. Number seven, Gabriella Truck Sales, 976,000. That's for highway heavy duty trucks, and that's bonded money from the 2018 bond, so that clears that out. Number 10, Seal Coat USA, 75,000 for highway crack seal. And number 11, Sport Tech Acrylics, 32,000 for resurfacing the courts. Any questions on the audit?
No.
Okay, so motion to close the audit. Dennis Troy,
So moved.
second.
Jerry.
Jerry Batari. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Teresa, can we go back to the outdoor dining on the 27th? Because I'm just,
We certainly can.
and maybe get the chief, because are we gonna have the police patrolling, or we're not gonna have them? Because and who's gonna enforce the social distancing aspect? I guess is the question.
I'll let-
Okay, as far as social distancing, I don't see us getting too involved with doing social distancing.
Okay.
We would probably have one police officer if the road's closed,
All right.
and that should be enough.
Okay. If that's the case, then I don't have a problem with voting on for July 4th also, right now, and we just don't give it the day before Father's Day because it's not enough time to get it done.
Well, again, I'd have to speak to the county. I mean, again, Skip Fazzetti, I talked to him personally today, was kind of like, especially,
Well,
But again,
if Ed's saying it's okay, I'm sure he'll tell Skip. I say we should try to help these restaurants out, and if it's the county that wants to come down with a heavy hand, then it's on them. But we should approve this and let them open up on July 4th.
I agree with Tom.
Yeah, I'll second it.
I support.
okay. I mean, I don't know that we have to take a vote. Do we need to, I guess,
Well, I guess part of it is the logistics, which I think you've been talking about, Teresa. You know, is it central? Is it central in Maine? Is it, you know, I think that's something that can be worked out, but you may want to do a, you know, kind of a memorializing resolution that authorizing the town to close roadways in conjunction with, you know, the county for purposes of, you know, permitting outdoor dining on, you know, roadways.
27th, July 4th.
I mean, you know, to address Tom's question, and as the chief mentioned, you know, social distancing and things of that nature are really, the businesses are required, you know, to do that when they open and keep the tables an appropriate distance apart. And those, you know, obviously are orders from the governor that would be enforceable at some point, but it you know, starts with the businesses that they are required to, you know,
Well,
make
what
sure
if
folks
we-
wear
I mean-
masks when they're not eating and things of that nature.
one of the things that came up earlier was doing the Jersey borders. Is that what they call it, Jersey borders?
The barriers.
And- barriers,
Jersey
sorry.
barriers.
I was close. And this would again give them more space on the sidewalk, you know, but would not require closing the street down. You know, I mean, that's kind of a compromise. I mean, I know that I guess Steve spoke with Carmel about that earlier today, is it, you know,
My understanding is that, and Jimmy could probably confirm this, is I think there's a pretty expensive price on getting those cement barriers and putting them in place and removing them.
is that what a Jersey barrier is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
those.
Jim?
You want me to comment?
Yeah, Jim.
Please, Jim,
Yeah.
I don't think the chief was referencing concrete barriers. We have ones that we can fill with water, but we really need to know how many spaces you're going to try to do that in. We have a limited amount. We don't have enough to do 20 spaces. We have to come up with some other kind of a plan. Bringing concrete in, there's going to be a big cost factor. Getting it in place,
Well-
getting it out. Are you going to leave it there? You know, there's a lot to be considered.
Well, the reason I mentioned concrete, Jimmy, is because the plastic ones, you'd still need the trucks at all the intersections.
right.
Well, we're looking at a couple different plans. If you're just going to do spaces, that's one plan. If you're going to close the road,
Right.
then our previous process has been to close it completely so people can't ride down there if you're going to let pedestrians out in the road. So it's really, my part of it is, what do you want us to do? If you're going to close roads, the town has already established a plan how to do that. It's going to be expensive. We've done that for the St. Patrick's Day parade. We've done that for Pearl River Day. If you're going to try to do specific locations, then we really need to know the number of locations to be able to give you a real estimate of what it's going to cost and what it's going to take. If we're doing it 3 weeks, do we just leave them in place for 3 weeks?
We're not doing 3 weeks, Jimmy. It'd be
Can't do-
two.
Well, whatever, you know,
Well,
whatever you need, tell me and I'll be able to give you some numbers on it.
Jim,
right, and I think that was one of the issues. I think when Jim says leave it, just leave it, he's talking about blocking the parking spots, obviously not the roadway. Right, when you're talking about the Jersey barriers with the water.
Plan
There may be
one
a-
would be to close the roads completely. Plan two would be to do specific locations. If you were going to do specific locations, you might be able to place them once, leave them, and then when everything's finished, take them out. But those
That-
would be
That
restricted.
cuts off people
They're
being
there.
able to park in front of businesses, so you're kind of cutting off
Right.
roads like yourself.
So I have a question. Did we ever think about trying to get Central Avenue Field and just allowing the local businesses to set up their goods outside? Maybe not the restaurants, but that could help the other type of businesses like a sidewalk sale, but use Central Avenue. When I talked to Lisa about that, she said you can't put an application into the school district because it's closed, but maybe we could help with that and allow that. And 4th of July would have been closed anyways if this was a normal year. So we're really only adding one day of additional monies.
And we didn't pay for St. Patrick's Day.
And we're
Or the 4th of July.
$100,000 down in freaking sales revenue, but that's another who's counting. But so just so we're on the same page, because I will reach out to Skip. You want to do the full closure like we're doing on the 27th? On the 4th.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
I would support it, Teresa, and I think that you and your committee have to work on which roads and what you think is the most reasonable way to do it.
Okay. So Rob, do you want to pass something, or is it,
Well, we could either do a special meeting or, if you want to do a memorializing resolution, because part of it, if you're getting into 4th of July, I don't know if there's been a determination of fireworks. The town doesn't do the fireworks. They have to get permission from the school district to, I think they shoot them off,
At Franklin
on school
Avenue.
property and,
And they haven't raised the money this year. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They
and then that's definitely going to be a problem with the governor's if we have fireworks and we're closing the road. That's definitely a gathering that exceeds what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, I'd like to make a suggestion that we go ahead and approve the 27th. And if we need to do July 4th, we have a special meeting when we know the cost. Because even on July 4th would be a Saturday, you're paying guys overtime to come in and man those trucks, to bring them in, to move them. So I think we need to know the cost.
right. And again, what do we know? Do you have a plan for what portion of the road we want to close? John Street to Main? Do you want to go all the way to 304? Again, you don't necessarily have to put that in the resolution, but we might want to have some type of plan.
I think Paul just said we do a special meeting.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that your committee could then discuss with Jimmy the options that he just put forward and see, along with the chamber, and see if the water-filled barriers would help out in certain locations where the street could still be open.
I don't know how
You
you
want
do
to
that.
set the meeting now for the 23rd? It'll give you a week to talk about it and gives people, you might want to indicate tonight that the 27th is going to be a date so that people can prepare.
No, the 27th is done. We already said we're talking about the next.
But we don't have a resolution on that.
What are we authorizing?
What we just vote on,
the
Rob?
town is doing it. What are we? Otherwise,
have
they're
resolutions
authorizing me to
before.
sign a permit or something.
Well, authorizing the closing of the road and, is it that's the thing. Is it a chamber event? Is it
No,
a town
27th
event?
is
It's a
not.
town event. It's a
It
town
can't
event.
hurt. My suggestion is do a memorializing resolution just so that people have something that they can look to say, okay, on the 27th is going to be the date.
But
that
we
the road
already
will be
did that,
closed.
didn't we? We voted on something.
No,
I'd
there was
like
no
to make
resolution.
Okay.
I'd
All
like
right.
to make a memorializing resolution to close the streets as per the Restart Committee on June 27th, and we will revisit the closing July 4th after we have more information at a special meeting.
So, right, close the street and for outdoor dining and other businesses, really.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
I'll second it. No, whichever.
You just thirded it. Okay.
Paul moved and Dennis seconded.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, just so you didn't know,
Aye.
the Kickstart Committee was looking at something later in maybe August, where we made it like an event, like the food truck, like almost like a Pro River Day, because we were told today that the Chamber's not gonna have Pearl River Day, that it's too late for them to do it. So we were thinking of doing something later in the year and make it more of an event. So just keep that in there. Just keep it.
I think that's a great idea, but I don't think we allow food trucks. That they're going to be competing
Well, I mean,
against
I
the
just threw
business.
that out there. Whatever we do for Pearl River Day. I mean, you're right. We're not gonna take it away from the businesses, but you know.
Do you want to do a resolution for, have a special meeting on the 23rd at 5:30, a week from today? And
Sure, moved.
That's fine.
Right?
Yeah,
a week from today, just to give the committee time to meet, to get some information and give enough time for the businesses to be ready, for the 4th or whatever other days we're talking about.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, and see if Skip Rossetti will
Okay.
change his mind.
And
He told me
I-
that, but-
I just got a text that the fireworks are definitely canceled.
we had met with Stefan and it seemed like it was leaning that way, but hadn't heard for definite, so. Okay. Anything else?
That is it.
Okay, so we have,
I'm sorry, just take a vote on that, have a special meeting.
Oh.
Moved. Tom Divney, second. Teresa, all in
Sure.
favor.
I,
all right.
Aye.
Good job, Tom.
Thank you.
good job. Okay, okay, so we have one, adjournment, tonight is for David Lewis McElwain from Pearl River. So, we are going to go into executive session, no vote afterwards. So we can make a motion to go into executive session and accept the adjournments, and I have a motion, Tom Divney, seconded, Paul Valentine, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we do have an executive session. Does everybody have their call-in number?
Yep. All right.
Okay. See you on